The Ben Davis and Kelly K Show podcast on demand.
If you ever have just the need to get a third opinion or just from people who maybe don't have any sort of emotional connection in your situation, you can always shoot us a message at Ben and Kelly Show, and we'll toss it out and see what we can do. So this listener reaches out to us and says, look, guys, I love to travel and really enjoy getting away for the weekend whenever possible. However, my boyfriend of 4 years has put a real damper on this for me. He seems obsessed with the idea of my flashing truckers when we are on the road.
What? He wants her to do that?
He will pull up beside an 18-wheeler, slow down, expecting me to show off the goods.
Why?
This makes me very uncomfortable. When I refuse...
Well, yeah.
She says, when I refuse, it turns into a huge fight, and he ends up not speaking me for days.
Oh, my gosh.
He claims that he does so much for me every day, and he can't understand why I can't do this one thing for him. It has caused a lot of ridiculous fights between us. What can I do?
Well, for one thing, what if she caused a wreck with her show? Like catching some trucker off guard. I mean, I don't think that's like the safest thing to do. Plus, I mean, that's kind of like a violation to her. He wants her to expose herself to strangers on the road.
There's a couple things here. One, I want to know if there are any truckers listening within the sound of my voice that have... Is this a routine thing? Because I'm sure you sit up high, you see things that not everybody does because of your viewpoint.
Yes, you can look down into cars.
And have you seen stuff that you're convinced is on purpose just to give you a show? Because I don't know how often this would like. I don't think this is a thing. I just didn't think that this was like something that happened. Like Mike texts in and says this was a trend back in the 70s. Okay, Mike sounds like he's heard some things.
He's seen some life.
he's seen and experienced some things.
He's lived some stuff.
Man. But then on the other side, it's like, all right, so she's been seeing this guy for 4 years.
Yeah.
And he is continuing to do this, obviously not taking her feelings into account here, unless she just has not ever said, like, I'm really upset that you are continuing to ask me to do this. Like,
well, okay, so Barbara rolls in here, and she's like, my dad's a truck driver. Says he sees all sorts of stuff like this and more, very often people with no pants.
Wow. Okay.
Hey, Sassy, what is happening on the highways? Let's think about safety.
Man.
You know, hands at 10 and 2. Let's keep our clothes on. You know what? And Natalie also said, you know what? Yeah, just throw the whole man away. She has every right to her body. Tell him if he wanted to have control over someone else, he should go get a little blow-up friend.
Yeah. I mean, look. Like I said, there's a lot of things here and a lot of feelings I have for her and the relationship she's in, and there's a lot of just
that's a lack of respect. Right there.
Yeah, for sure. So
a big lack of respect. The fact that he gets so mad when she's like, no,
right, like that they don't talk for a while, right?
Yeah, that's excessive.
All right,
I feel like there is something else happening in this relationship.
Sure. 502-571-9970. Got an interesting situation from a listener here on 99.7 DJX who has a boyfriend of 4 years, and every time they travel in the car for like a weekend getaway or something, he always wants and expects her to flash truckers while they're on the road. And then if she doesn't, then it turns into like this big fight and doesn't talk to her for days. And she's like, what can I do? And
that's a big red flag in my book. The fact he gets so mad.
Yeah.
About the fact that she doesn't want to flash her bits to strangers on the road.
Right. And I was like, I didn't even think this was a thing. And so Scott rolls in. He says, I'm a truck driver from Louisville, and we do get flashed on occasion. And it's funny. It's
more of an old school thing.
Yeah, wave and smile or honk the horn. and then responding to, whether or not it's a distraction, he's like, well, you have to look at it this way. Most of the truck drivers are out there for months at a time. And seeing that is a little bit of excitement to break up the boringness of the road. All right.
Okay.
So
all right. But the fact is, she doesn't want to do it. And that's the root of this entire scenario. She does not want to. And he gets mad at her and doesn't talk to her for days. Like that, in my mind, is a very big red flag in the relationship. Like, he sounds manipulative.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are, instead of trying to fix the whole, hey, let's try to fix the boyfriend from asking you to flash truckers on your trips, to, hey, this is something you need, this is a red flag, and you maybe need to reevaluate your relationship altogether.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, because they've been together for like 4 years, and if this is like still a huge issue and a recurring issue, that's not good.
I mean, I like, for a joke, I may have said that to my wife one time, and if she said no, I would never touch it again. I never again. But I don't even think I don't even think I ever did it once as a joke. Like, hey,
I was going to say, you have to have a little bit of an exhibitionist in your personality, I think, to like be like, okay, like me for one would never do it.
I mean, but
if somebody repeatedly asked me and then didn't talk to me for days because I didn't want to do that, no, I'm not sticking around.
Yeah, but man, that is interesting. Like, as a trucker, like the things that you've seen. Whew.
Oh, I'm sure you could write some like trucker confessions.
I know,
like,
right?
You write a book. I'd buy it.
I'd buy trucker confessions for sure. All right, so yeah, if you want to, if you're not in a great spot to comment or whatever, you want to always look back. You can always do that on our Facebook page at Ben and Kelly Show.